think you should.
All right, what's going on, guys? All right, sorry about that. I was having a little bit of trouble with my mic. So, yeah, good morning. Hope you guys are having a fantastic morning and ready to rock and roll. There's some good stuff moving this morning. So, let's take it one trade at a time, and yeah, let's have a good day. So, SPY, we are coming back down to that trend that we've been watching the last couple of days. We're kind of gapping down from this pivot level at this previous high back down to this trend line here. So like I was saying before, this trend line is a big area that we need to watch. If the market can't hold this area, we're going to see a probably a pretty aggressive sell-off coming off of this trend line here to the downside. So the problem with it, why I'm kind of leaning a little bit more bearish on the market now, is because of the way that we're going to open here on this candle. And we're going to be opening down towards the low. We're going to be opening basically right at that trend line, which unfortunately that's kind of a mix for continuation. So we'll have to watch it today. I don't know if we're going to get that break and that flush today because we are so extended, shorter time frame. We're extended to the downside just after the sell-off yesterday in the gap down that we're getting this morning. So I think that we'll have a little bit of a choppy day today. I think we might break back down below this trend, but then they're going to try to buy it up and get it back above this trend again. So if we do hold it, then we could kind of start to see a push off of it. So I think we're going to have a little bit of a choppy day in the market. But this trend line is a big area to watch, not just for today, but for, the rest of this week, next week, and the next couple of weeks going forward. Okay. So if we do break this, we've got a lot of room to the downside. We've got room almost back down to about 310. So we got a lot of room. If we do hold this, we got room right back up here towards the previous high, the pivot level right up there. So those will be the areas that we're watching. All right. So the first one on our list here is SRNE. SRNE got a latest stating that they are good to continue going with their trial. It's a phase 1. You guys know how we play that. Phase 1, they still have a phase 2, they still have hurdles that they have to go through. And what that tells me is they're good to keep going on their phase, but they're also good to keep going and spending money too, right? So they're still spending money. They're still not getting anything out of it just yet. So, in my eyes, this is a short. Looking for a pop. If we do get a pop out of the open right up here to 1150 to 12, then, watch for topping up there and short it. I think it'll be a nice fade from there. If we do start to pull out of the open, and if we break this 10 right here, short it, slam it down, bring it back down to $9 and under. We do have the 50-day moving average right here, which is going to be this big blue line right here. So if we do start to bounce off of that and we start seeing volume and momentum start coming into this and they start pushing this to the upside, then we can flip it and we're just going to have to follow. We'll follow the momentum, okay? If they're going to sell it off, we'll short it because that's kind of where it deserves to go. But if they step in and they start buying it, then we can watch it and we can take it on up, back up towards 12, 13, and then break that. We got room to 15, okay? Play. We're getting a little bit of a gap down on play. This is, I was kind of expecting this ever since last earnings. They're still well overvalued. They've got a long ways to go. I think this is going to be a good swing if you guys want to grab some puts, like a month out, October puts. Swing it. It should fade off back down towards 12 or 13 bucks next coming week. So for today, if we hold under this 1750 out of the open and we start to pull, we are already breaking this little pre-market trend here. If we start to pull out of the open, short it, fade it off back down to 15 and under, and from there, just kind of be done with it. If we do get a pop out of the open up towards 18, if we bust through that 1750, look for a quick pop up towards 18, then start watching for the topping up there and short it. Should be a nice fade from there. Okay. MLHR, they had pretty fantastic earnings. So I think this one will continue to get bought up today. This big red line right here is the 200-day moving average. So we are gapping above the 200-day moving average, and we're trying to hold it here. So if we can hold above this 29 200-day moving average, and we start to push, we've got a nice gap in the daily chart up here from 30 to about 31.25, 31.30. So if we do hold that 29 and we start to push out of the open and we bust through that 30, you guys can grab it long for that quick pop up towards 21. 25, 21.50 up there, and then let it pull back, consolidate a little bit, and then we could look for the next leg up towards 35. But this one should continue to get bought up today. If we do break down below this 29 and this 200-day moving average, then it's going to be a little, you know, I still think it's going to get bought up, but it's going to have that major overhead resistance just right overhead. So what I would prefer if we do break that 29 is to let it flush back down towards 28. And if you guys want to start nibbling a little bit long, that's good. But I would prefer to wait for it to kind of bounce back up, reclaim that 29, let it put in a little bit of a flag, and then we can take it long a little bit later for that push up towards 30 and then get into the gap up towards 31. Okay. Chewy, they've got a 5.1 offering at 55.25. Beautiful offering. We're kind of sitting right on top of the 50-day moving average right here. It's this blue line. So, like I said in my notes, anything under 55 is a good buying opportunity. So, if this starts to flush out of the open, let it flush. You know, we might see 54, 53.50. Then start scaling in long, give it room to add, build a nice position, and enjoy the ride. This one should get bought up. It should be a nice move today. If we do hold above this 54.50, this 50 moving average, and we start to get bought up out of the open, grab it long and enjoy the ride. You know, this is going to make a nice move today. It's got room up here towards and yeah, should be a fun one today. And the last one on our list is Boeing. Boeing. So Southwest is they're stopping some of their flights with some of Boeing planes, and the reason is because I believe it was a weight displacement issue, but that's not Boeing's fault. That's Southwest's fault. That's LUV's fault. So, and it's not a serious matter. It's just a they're temporarily stopping it in order to fix this problem, and then they're going to go right back and do it. So this could be, you know, the gap down from Boeing could be a little bit of a mixture of this as well as gapping down with the market. But all in all, I think this should get bought up today. If SPY can hold this trend line and kind of start bouncing off of it, I think Boeing should get a nice bounce and push on it. Okay, so what I would love to see is actually, you know, in my notes I got 160. I think that might be a little much. It might be a little bit far of a stretch. So I would actually be looking for, you know, 162, 162.50, right around there. Then we can start watching for the bottoming on it from there and grab it long. I think it'll make a nice bounce, or even, you know, 161. And look for the bottoming and grab it long. If we do start to get bought up out of the open and we break this little pre-market trend line here, right there, you guys can grab it long for a quick pop right up here to 166, 167. Then top it off and, you know, see if we can reclaim that, and then we might continue pushing higher. But I think it'll get a little bit choppy after that. Okay, guys, so those are our notes this morning. I'm going to go grab a cup of coffee real quick. We got about a minute and a half here, and I will be back in just a second.